Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is another sponsored pick a card reading. So I've been posting announcements about how now you can sponsor a pick a card reading. I'm still going to be taking suggestions and doing free pick a card readings, of course. But if you have a specific topic in mind, or you have a pick a card reading you really want to see me do, or you have a question that you want to have answered for everyone else on the channel, then hit me up. It's only $22.22. This price is just for now to kind of see like how I need to adjust it. I want to see how popular this is going to be, so feel free to hit me up while it's still at this price, and my email is below. But this is actually a reading on what is your relationship pattern. So we're going deep on the reading. This person wanted to know, can you do a pick a card reading on relationship patterns? So I was inspired to make a custom spread. What we're going to do in this reading is we're going to answer that question, what is your relationship pattern? Then we're going to see how it manifests in your relationships. And then we're going to see how you can break the cycle. And then we're going to get some overall advice. So we're looking at this more like what is probably more of an unhealthy or toxic relationship pattern that you have. And we all get stuck in these unhealthy patterns. I'm also going to pull some positive cards as well about like how you engage with others. But this is more of a constructive reading. Keep in mind this is general, so it may not resonate with you, may not resonate with everyone, but if it does resonate, I would love for you to leave comments and let me know. So what you're going to do is pick an object. You're going to pick the parrot feather, or the rock. So go ahead and pick one, and then you can get a personal reading. All you do is head to the description below and fast forward if you're the rock. If you're the parrot feather, then stick with me and we're gonna go ahead and pull you some cards. So let's do this. Alright, sometimes I don't have to shuffle much. So let's look into this. Number one, what is this relationship pattern? Interesting. I feel like as soon as the relationship gets comfortable, you run. You get to this point in your relationships where like you'll stick with someone through a lot. There's a lot that's going down. Like there's this winter that you and like your partner will go through. Maybe this is a romantic relationship we're talking about here. But I feel like as soon as you start to get comfortable, as soon as you start to feel safe, you run. And I feel like it's because you're looking for this validation that this person can't give you. Because the validation that you're looking for comes from within. So there comes this point where the relationships gets comfortable. Maybe there's a certain amount of validation you don't feel like you're getting from the person, and then you run from it. So very interesting. So how does this manifest in your relationships? I see that it keeps you from feeling connected. It keeps you from feeling like confident. It keeps you from feeling safe. It keeps you from feeling anchored with where you're at. Because this is a card of feeling confident, feeling strong, feeling anchored, and it also talks about opportunities. So this might even block your opportunities, this pattern to want to run. And I'm not saying that you actually do run, but maybe the pattern is that like you feel this need to break away from a relationship at this certain point. So how can you break this cycle? Well, the first thing is to realize that it's a cycle and it's going to keep repeating until you figure this out. And I actually see, interestingly enough, and it's funny because I was just talking to one of my friends right before I did this reading, and she's also very clairvoyant. She's going to come on the channel soon probably and do some talks with me, which I'm really excited for. So leave comments if you guys would love to hear from some of my friends, because like attracts like, and I happen to have very amazing, just like clairvoyant, insightful, spiritual friends I'd love to like bring on the channel as guests sometimes. So let me know if you want to hear from my friends. But we were just talking. I told her, oh yes, I'm going to be doing this reading on relationship patterns, and she says, like, you don't even, like, once you realize it's a pattern, like, you realize that you're the one who creates it, like, you're the source, and like focusing on your dreams and focusing on your goals helps you from creating these relationship patterns, because when you're not focusing on yourself and you're not focusing on your dreams and your goals, it's hard for you expect so much from the other person, and you start creating all these unhealthy patterns. And we were literally just talking about this, so it's cool to see this reflected in the cards. Shout out to my friend, you know who you are. I definitely think this is interesting when it comes to this. It's saying that like your dreams and your goals are your responsibility, and it's not these people, like these relationships, it's not their responsibility to fulfill you with this inner source. And you know, sometimes I forget, like I have codependent tendencies because of my past, and so like I sometimes can expect this from people when it's me needing to focus on my goals and focus on my dreams. And so I see that's kind of what's going on here. Like there's this situation where the pattern will continue unless you get to the point where you're fulfilled within. Because when you fulfill yourself, it's easy to tell, like, does this relationship need to go? Is it really time for me to leave? Or is this just me needing freedom in some other area of my life? And I feel like that's what's happening. Like maybe in relationships, you're wanting to flee and you're wanting to leave, and you're not wanting to commit to the relationship because of you are seeking validation from like many people, and you're needing to get you grounded. So sorry, the friend I'm talking about is literally texting me right now, which is so ironic. I was literally, of course I'm talking about this friend, and they decided to text me. They felt my energy. So overall advice on how to break this cycle. First of all, I wouldn't be too worried about this cycle. I want to pull a couple cards about like your strengths in relationships. This is just an area for you to work on so you can feel more comfortable, you know? If you feel like it's time to leave a relationship or situation, leave. But if you're doing this whole dance you do, I'm seeing this whole dance where you're like not sure, and like I've been through that before, and so it's easy for me to recognize in the cards. I feel like you're needing to kind of ground yourself in like your own, look, we're getting the inspiration and the abundance. Like you need to move forward with your goals, with your dreams, with your responsibilities. Focus on creating abundance for yourself and your life. It's going to help you feel a lot more confident here. So overall advice is patience. They're saying, and like there's a lot of talk of grounded, like being patient, waiting, not being so impulsive. And I'm seeing this talk about your home, like maybe your home, there's something that needs to change in your home, like you need to move somewhere, or maybe you need to clean out all the clutter in your home so that you can feel more confident and not so like wishy-washy and like indecisive. Because I feel like what this is indecisiveness, is this relationship pattern. And like they're saying you need to anchor yourself in your truth. And I also see this card that's talking about just like a beautiful relationship, healthy relationships, and I see like you're learning, like this is talking about like through the moon cycles, through the trials, through the tribulations of life, you're learning. And so think of this as a journey. We're all learning, we're all going through these, you know, relationship cycles, and we are all learning from them. So I hope that this helps you. I'm sending you so much love and light. So I'm just shuffling the cards back into the deck, and we're going to go ahead and do the next reading for those of you guys who picked the rock. So if you chose the rock, let's go ahead and do your reading. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up, and we're going to ask, what is this pattern? What is this relationship pattern? just going to draw some clarifiers real quick from my angel deck. Perfect. So, what is this relationship pattern? Oh, I'm actually seeing, this is kind of similar to the last one, but it's different in the sense that you like constantly want to start new relationships because you're confused. This could also mean that you're afraid to start a relationship. You're afraid to get involved. Maybe afraid to start new relationships. So it's one or the other. It's either like you're constantly starting relationships or you're afraid to start any, which kind of comes from the same place, which is like this lack. And I'm seeing like you're not really dedicated to making a choice in this area of your life. And I feel like it's hard for you to allow that tenderness. Like you're not like your heart is closed to love, but I wouldn't say that it's like open, you know, you're a little cautious, but maybe not in the best sense. So, we all have these relationship patterns, first of all. All of us have some kind of relationship pattern. What we're going to try to do here is see how it manifests in your relationships and then how to break the cycle. So let's see, how does this manifest? Well, this causes you to have to do a lot of healing because you're constantly leaking energy through these fears you have of like being in a relationship too long, or even just allowing yourself to connect with someone. The allow is huge. The fear is with allowing. And so I see the Angel of Miracles here, which is saying that like this isn't really a huge thing. Like you're learning how to break the cycle. You're already breaking the cycle. I feel a lot of positive, beautiful energy here. And what's coming out is, this is so beautiful. They're saying, how can you break the cycle? Magic. They're saying, you know, you can break the cycle right now if you want. So how about we do that? Let's go ahead and do just like a quick cord cutting universal prayer. And I hope that the people from number 1 are watching this too, because this is going to help everyone. So if you prefer not to pray to a deity, you can simply, and you're an atheist, then you can simply think of this as like intention setting or goal setting versus a prayer, okay? So, dear God, angels, higher self, Holy Spirit, ancestors, please clear, shield, and protect us from all lower, negative, and unwanted energies and entities and anything that isn't of God. Please help us cut the cords of fear that are attached to anything that is dragging us back in the fear of allowing tenderness, fears of opening our heart to love, fears of letting anyone close. Please help draw to us only the relationships that are going to be for our highest, most utmost well-being, and continue to send blessings of love and light our way. And continue to help us to create these blessings and this love and this light in our life. Thank you. Amen. And so it is. Beautiful. So what did we just do? We just stirred the pot. We just put an intention in. We just did some magic. We just said out loud to the universe and to ourselves what we want, you know, which is to break this cycle, break this pattern, and to allow ourselves to be open to love, allow ourselves to connect, you know, allow ourselves to recognize the red flags of when something's not for us or when something's hurting us, and to be able to love ourselves enough to be able to walk away from that, you know? It's a huge part of it. So the overall advice is to have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for this path you've been on and for everything you've been learning. I do see this as part of your purpose. And yes, we are learning here. This is the school of life. So I see you going through a transformation. They want you to nurture yourself and overall allow yourself to be vulnerable. This is going to be the key to breaking this cycle and to opening your heart to love. So I hope that this reading resonates with you. I'm sending you so much love and light. If you want to sponsor a pick a card reading, hit me up. Peace out.